Hi, this is Dean with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. So it's been a hot minute since I have filmed. I went on vacation for the last 2 weeks and I'm setting up my August budget today along with cash stuffing for the beginning of August. So let's go ahead and get started. So I hope you are all doing really well. Had a good July. I have found that I just need a detox right now from eating, drinking, and spending. My vacation sinking fund is wiped clean. It's done. A few others, I have exhausted it. So we're just going to go ahead and get started in new month and see how this budget lays out. So unfortunately, income has not changed. So $39.18. So 2 paychecks. My husband and I both have pensions. My daughter pays me $80 a month for her phone bill. I do not account for my incremental income because it is very, it's not confirmed. So I do have 4 dates that I have committed to for August. I do watch my granddaughter. If you are new to my channel, I do watch my granddaughter Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I do pick up some hours, kind of just to help a friend out on some Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. So for this month, for August, I promised 4 dates. There could be more, there could be less. It just depends on what is happening. So for income, $39.18 plus $39.18 plus 80. $7,916. I do get a lot of questions. This is a form that I created for my budget. I have been trying to work to get all my printables listed in my shop, and I gotta tell you that I had my shop closed for 2 weeks because of vacation. I thought while I was on vacation I was going to get some things done, but that did not happen. So I am plotting out some time that I can get these things done so I can hopefully get everything up and loaded in the month of August. So I just take my total income and bring it over here. I'm a strong believer in color coding, but you probably know that. I always plan to put $500 in savings. I used to be able to put $1,000, but I had a different income at that point. And then I, as always, put $300 in Christmas. And then we'll come back to some of these other ones. Okay, so for landscaping, it's $140 for the month. Phone, which is already billed through, is $262. Electricity. So I live in Phoenix, Arizona. We are having a heat wave along with the rest of the country. It was so nice being in California for 2 weeks, but I am trending at $470. It may even go up because it's still super hot. I have 6 days left on this bill, so it's averaging about $15 a day. So we'll see. My water bill did come in at $129. Which is $30 more than last month and more than last year. So I don't know if we have a leak somewhere or if that is just the cost of water. Southwest Gas, I'm going to put 30 because that's kind of where last year was and where we've been running. 120 for the internet. DirecTV is 110. Netflix is 16. HBO Plus is 11. Hulu is 17. Life insurance for my husband and I is 106. Gym is 59, car wash is 25, medical insurance is $1,370. So, if you're new here, my husband and I are both have both retired now twice from our jobs. I call myself semi-retired because I still help out. My husband also has a part-time job, but he is a consultant, so he does not have benefits. And we are both too young for Medicare. So we went through a company called Thin Blue Line, and it is designed for first responders. So normally you retire from fire, police, public safety, any of those before you reach Medicare age, just because of mandatory retirement ages as well as drop and things like that. So he retired in 2019, the end of 2019. So we don't qualify for Medicare. So he went to work again, had insurance, and then he left that job about almost a year ago. I guess it's been a year. So we have been paying out of pocket for Cobra. So thin blue line is kind of that gap between when you retire from first responders to when you are eligible to Medicare. So definitely half of what we were paying when we were Cobraing, but still our biggest bill that we have. My homeowner's insurance, my auto insurance, and my property tax are three things that I save for year round. I just paid my homeowner's insurance, my auto insurance, and our umbrella policy, all renewed by August 1st. If you have followed my channel for a while, you know that I got my bills, my renewals for this year. They were $1,800 more than what I had paid in 2022. So I did shop around. I ended up getting 3 new policies with a different company that is a little bit less than what I paid in 2022, but the exact same coverage. So I just feel like, you know, they kind of, I hate doing that every year. I would like to stay with the same company, but I just could not justify the increases on their renewals. It was just ridiculous. So I take what I would pay for the year. So my homeowner's insurance, along with the umbrella policy, I lump into one. So that policy was like $1,300 for the two. And then I added on like 25. And that makes, I think my 2024 bill will be around $1,500. I divided that by 12 months. So I will be putting $130 away every month for that bill in a year. My auto insurance also went up. I was saving $200. My new one will be $2,700. I think we'll be paying $3,200 in 2024. My property tax is due in October. That money is already put away. So I'm looking at April of 24 and October of 24. So I am putting $240 away for that. My HOA, I put $75 a month. It is quarterly. And pest control, which is quarterly, is $35. So these are my total fixed. They're the same every month. These are variable based on if I need to step up saving because those bills are due, or if there's a change in something. I just paid my HOA in July, so the next time I'll need to pay the full amount, which is $235, will be October. So that's just kind of what I do with my annual bills. I just look at it as a monthly bill so that when something comes due, then I will definitely have that money there. So my variable sinking funds of my fixed ones is $750. So if I take, oh, I forgot to add this up. So 140 plus 262 plus 470 plus 129, 30, 120, 110, 16, 11, 17, 108, 59, 25, 1370. 2875, that matches, plus 750 is 3615. That's right. Okay, it might be $10 off at the end, so 3615. And then my lifestyle, which are things that I do feel like I do have control over. I do 300. This is a 5-week month for me, by the way. I just look at the calendar and I kind of see where our paychecks come in. And we both get paid once a month. So there is no like mid-month amount coming into our account. So I have to decide throughout, you know, at the beginning of the month, like if everything was going to come out on the 1st, so I don't have like additional funds coming in. So I take and count how many weeks those checks need to cover, and then that's how I come up with whether it's a 4-week or a 5-week month. So when you're on a pension, there is no magic month, is what I'm saying. Eating out $250, spending $250, My mom, 100. Entertainment, 100. Miscellaneous, I took down to 50 because I haven't really been using that envelope. 200 for personal care. Household, I took to 50 because I did roll over $90 last month. Groceries online, 300. Gas, 300. And then medicine, 100. And I still have the money left from giving because when I left on vacation, it was still there. So I did not put additional funds there. And then my subscriptions for Simple Paper, that is 35. Faded Chronicle is 41. These will both come out on the 1st of the month. Elements is 80. Audible is 16. Paper Minty Studio is doing a release, so that'll be 110. And Coffee Monster Co., while my subscription is not due this month, it is her birthday sale, so I did put $100 there. So if I look at this, is $23.82. So if I take my income of $79.16 minus $36.15 for my fixed expenses minus $23.82 for my lifestyle minus the $500 that I'm putting in savings, that comes up with sinking funds of $14.19. And then over here, I kind of have like my general sinking funds, but I do also do kind of a breakdown at the end of the month that looks like this. So here's all my sinking funds. Here's what my beginning balance is at the beginning of the month, what I had planned to put in, and then at the end of the month, I'll add what additional money I add. So what I like to do with my incremental income, so if I work the 4 days that I'm planning to, I will look and see first, are there any of my sinking funds that I did not have the ability to fund with our checks? Or is there something that I would like to purchase to use that money? I do like to try to save part of it and use it wisely, because I think in the past I've just kind of used it for whatever. And it doesn't make sense to trade my time by working just to waste the money. So I am trying to kind of go through and just make little notes for where I would like to put some money when, if I do work and when I do get paid. And then again, if you're new, these are envelopes. I have ones that go into Capital One, savings accounts, and then also in my credit union. So here is where we are. This is what I've plotted out to use. So for my ones that I fund every single month, Christmas at $300. The envelopes, which are the ones that are highlighted in this kind of green color, that means that those are envelopes that I will pull cash for. That was $390. General fund is just all these little ones like planners, beauty, all those I just kind of put into a fund together, and that was $79. So they're not specific to any particular product, but I kind of put everything together. Gifts, I'm not funding. Home improvement, I'm not. Medical, I'm not. Sutton's $529. So Sutton is my granddaughter. We did create a $529 for her for college. It is getting funded this month at $250, and then going forward, it'll probably be $100, if not $200. We're kind of working both ways. Technology, I am not funding. Vacation is completely, I have $700 left out of almost $5,000, but we did rent a beach house, and I was gone for 2 weeks. So between paying for the beach house, gas for the trip, food for the trip and everything, there is $700 left. And then my daughter is getting married in October of 24, so I'm continually funding the wedding. So when I look at that, it's 300 plus 390 plus 79 plus 250 plus 200 plus 200. 1419. Love when that works out. So if I add up my fixed expenses, 3615 plus 2382 plus 500 plus 1419, 7916. Okay, so 7,916. So everything balances. Pretty much my budget does not fluctuate a lot. I have been concentrating on catching up on some of my insurances, and I was really funding vacation. So now that those are, paid for the year, plus, my vacation is done, I don't have any vacation plans coming up, I can now go back and start funding some other things. Birthdays for my family is another one that I fund every month. My daughter's dogs I fund, and date night. So those are pretty much every time. And then I need to start looking at some different holidays and things like that once money kind of frees up a little bit, or if I'm going to use my incremental income. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put cash into my envelope. So to be honest, this is all the cash that was from last month. So I did not go to the bank. I did not pull out additional money. This is all money that I took out of my envelopes to pay back my credit card. So again, if you are new here, I use my Capital One credit card for everything. And then at the end of the week, I take that money out of the envelope and I put it into back to bank, and I just keep recycling that money. So it's not that I am physically putting it back in the bank. I'm using it to begin my next month's cash stuffing. So the denominations may not be correct. I have already cleared my card, and I will tell you that this month, between vacation expenses, I had to get my tires. I bought tires. That was $1,700. And that was in a Capital One account that my husband paid for them. So I transferred it back to my credit union and then gave him the money from there, because I would have just used my credit card and then paid myself back. But he had ordered them for me and had to give his card. So there was a lot of big expenses that came out in the month of July. Our insurances altogether, our homeowners, the umbrella policy, and the car insurance was about $4,300. I did that out of my checking account versus my checking account at Desert Financial versus my Capital One, because there was such a high fee for using my credit card that I said, I'll put the money back into my checking account, and we'll use that instead of using my card, so that I'm not having to pay so much more. So I just cleared everything. So it's like a fresh start at the beginning of every month. My card is paid in full, which is a promise that I did to myself when we got out of debt. And then, this cash, while it could go back to the bank, then I would totally pull new cash. I go ahead and keep recycling this cash. So, let's get started. Okay, so for groceries, $300 go into my online account. I just keep it there for HelloFresh or whatever I might do. I put $300 in here. I am going to put $150 in, for the first 2 weeks of the month. So if I take the $300 divided by the 5 weeks, it is $60 a week. So I'm just going to put $150 in to start, and then we'll start with that. For eating out, I'm going to do the same thing. So instead of putting 50, I'm going to put 100 in. No, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this differently. What I've been doing is just keeping the cash together and then just not having to make change that way when I need to put it back into the back to bank. So I'm going to just take a pause here, not assuming that you can follow my logic in my brain. So the way my budget works is this is it. This is all the cash I have to use for expenses, sinking funds, everything. So this is it. I try never to use my debit card. If I use my credit card, I already know that money is here and I'm just going to put it back and I'm going to pay my card with that. So I try to just discipline myself to say, you know, if the money's not here, you can't get it, because otherwise I start spending on my credit card and I spend out of my account and then I still have cash in my envelope. So that's just the way my brain works. That's how I've trained it. And that's how we've been able to get out of debt. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the $60 into groceries, because that's really what I would get, not counting the $300 that is in the online account that I leave in my account. So we'll put 60 there. I'll put the 50 into eating out. That's what I give myself per week, I'm sorry. Spending is the only one that I do not track. I take the $50, I put it into my wallet, and then when it's gone, it's gone, but I don't track it. I like to have one account that I don't have to do that for. Household, I am going to put the whole 50 in. My mom, I'm just going to put the 20 in. I am going to go see her on Thursday. So if you, again, are new here, my mom is in a memory care facility. And this money is just to bring her treats. So all of her bills are paid out of my parents' trust. And this money is just to get her, you know, a milkshake or a hamburger or something like that. Miscellaneous is going to get 50, so I'll go ahead and put the 50 in just so it's there. Personal care, I am going to put 100 of the 200 because I am getting a massage this week, so I will need money for the tip. It's 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90, 100. Okay, so 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. So that's half of what I'll have in this envelope. Entertainment gets 100, so I'll just put 50 in to start. And then back to bank. I did make a note here. We ended up having somebody stay at our house for one of the weeks of our vacation. I took $100 out of this envelope to pay her for house sitting. So I just put that note there. It doesn't matter because it came out of my vacation fund, but I just, to remind myself when this was short, like why it was short. Okay, so these are the ones that are like my everyday, but again, I do not use cash for anything but my spending, and then I use my card for everything. Okay, so for my sinking funds, all of these are getting skipped. So for my birthday and my daughter's birthday, which was in July, they are both empty. So I'm gonna start saving for July of 24. So I save $50 a month for each of our birthdays. My husband has a birthday in September, and it is a big birthday, so I am kind of overfunding this. I am going to put in $100. So he already has $490. I'm going to add another 100. He has $590. Of course, he is working on his birthday, so I don't know how that's going to be. My daughter's birthday, also the July one, I'm going to put 50 in, start funding for next year. The cars is my daughter, son-in-law, and my granddaughter. Kind of all working out of the same envelope, so I kind of just fund it at $100 versus each one having their own. First birthday for this envelope will be in October for my daughter. Family birthdays is fully funded. I still have $387. This is my sisters, my mom, my sister-in-law. Actually, I'm going to take some money out of here. My sister-in-law's birthday, we're celebrating on Thursday. My nieces and nephews are actually my nieces and nephews' kids. I'll be taking money out of this month. Liam and Milo are my daughter's dogs, and I have an envelope for them. My husband does not understand this at all, but I do pay for half of my one daughter's dog's food because I like him to be on this special diet, and it was more than I wanted to ask her to pay, even though she loves her dog and probably would pay it. But I do save for half of his food that we need to buy about every 2 months. So that's for that envelope, or that binder. And then this one is kind of my everything else binder. So car insurance is going to be an online account, but I'm going to track it in here. Craft night is funded. Date night gets 50. So if my husband and I are just like grabbing food, you know, we take it out eating out. If, you know, we want to go someplace special, go to a movie and then out to dinner, I take it out of date night. And if I'm with my girls, then I take it out of entertainment. HOA gets $75. So I take my HOA divided by 12 months, and then I get $75 a month is what I need to put away, even though it's paid quarterly. Homeowners insurance, same thing, is going to be online, but I'm going to track it here. Household, this is my rollover money. Lawn care is $140. $70 a week. Now, I don't pay him in cash, but he takes Zelle, and I don't have Zelle at my credit union, so my husband does Zelle. So I just give my husband this money, and then he pays him when he comes in every other week. Pest control gets $35, but I do not. Oh no, there's a 5. Okay, so I do have $35. Property tax, I've been doing it in cash, but I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do that as an online transfer, and that's $240. My granddaughter has $100 in her envelope right now. The $250 that I'm using for her $529 will actually come out of my account and go in. It'll be drawn from my credit union from my financial planner, so I don't need to do that in cash. He's going to pull that out. Target has $40 left, and vacation is completely empty, but I'm going to be using my online vacation account instead of my envelope right now. So that should be it. Now, what I will do next is do all my transfers. So on the first of the month, I set up all of my transfers from my credit union to Capital One account. So for things like Christmas, my general fund, the wedding fund, these are all at Capital One. Vacation fund is at my credit union. I'll transfer that. And then the savings, the $500 savings, I transfer that. So I set those all up for the first of the month so that I'm not looking at my account and thinking, oh, I have all this money, when I really don't. So it's just an automatic transfer. It takes about 5 days from when it leaves my credit union to where I see it on Capital One. And then if I do need to transfer it back from Capital One back to my credit union, it's a little bit quicker, actually. It's like 3 to 4 days. So, and this is the system I've used since 2019, and we have been able to pay off all debt, paid off our house. It is just such a freeing feeling. So if you are struggling, if you are new to this process, stick with it. It is absolutely 100% worth all of the saying no, the stressing out about it, you know, figuring out how to build that emergency fund, figuring out how to pay, you know, extra and kind of get yourself out of debt. I will tell you, being on the other side of it,